Osiris.
No simple road. No simple road. No simple road. No simple road.
Hi guys,
This is live.
what's happening?
Hi guys.
Say hi.
Right now.
We are. This is happening.
Yes. This is so cool.
So, I just want all of us to sit here for a second. Let's soak in that we're sitting on the fucking stage in the bar at Terrapin Crossroads together. Let that just soak into your mind for a minute. Like, I don't. How long ago was it that you and I even met? Like less than a year, right?
Probably.
Yeah. And from less than a year ago to right now, like, we become family.
Yes.
That's fucking rad,
Yeah, we're
man.
planning
No
an East
simple
Coast
Higgs.
How
tour.
cool is that?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
We love it.
So, how did this come about tonight? You guys playing here? Was this just a thing through the booking agent, or?
Yeah, I think so. I guess he reached out to him. They said, sure. There's some buzz with the band right now, and there's. I think they're like, yeah, sure, give him a shot.
Why is there buzz? What's going on? What's going on with the band?
What's the buzz, Jessie? What's the buzz? I don't know. Stuff is happening.
Hang on. Can you hang on 1 second?
We're
Okay, so spark plug.
we're live.
Yeah, go ahead, man. So let's hear about this. Let's hear about the spark plug.
I like this, man.
all about
We have we got the mechanic on the phone.
Okay, come on in. The water's awesome.
Spark plug tread is like he has to make it bigger for the spark plug to
The
fix.
spark plug is stripped, and they have to rebore it.
He wants to make the tread bigger. He said it's 60% chance this will work, 40% chance it won't. We have to agree before he does it.
Should we give the people some context? about-
Yeah. Okay.
I'm freaking out. I should just have. I don't know. Okay.
So we were
We're live.
driving here.
What
happens if it doesn't work?
He's got to tell the mechanic what to do, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's waiting.
Say it.
Yeah.
Answer.
The mechanic's on the line right now. Dun, 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 dun.
Tell him to do it or what?
I mean, we have
Well,
to.
we have to
Yeah,
do
we
it.
So we were driving up here, and
Okay.
the
Hello.
van started making some funny noises just as we pulled into Terrapin. It was almost like it was meant to be.
Is
And,
this is the last show of the tour?
This is
Yes,
the last show. We're
of
doing
this
a
run.
quick 3-night run, and luckily the van broke down on the last night of the 3-night run as we were rolling into the venue. So
There we go.
the universe is on our side tonight.
Wow. So, not only are you getting to play here on this stage, but like the universe made sure that the van pooped out right in the fucking parking lot.
Right,
Yeah.
Right
literally
in front.
when we pulled up, it went pop, 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 pop. It
As
was
soon as we could
unbelievable.
see like the building,
And-
it was like pop.
and here's
it was
another
crazy.
thing.
I've never heard seen anything like this before.
It's a Saturday, right? There's mechanics all over, about a half a mile away, but every single one's closed except for this one place. So Garrett and me put the hazards on and drive about 10 miles an hour down half a mile. The cars are behind us, and pull in. And they're like, hey, we're closing. But we're like, man, this just happened. And they're like, okay, let us take a look. One mechanic was giving the other mechanic a haircut. They were doing like, it was like barbershop in the thing. And they're like, they made us wait 10 minutes to finish the cut. Then they went and looked at the band and said, okay, we'll stay open late. We'll stay open for you guys and try and fix it.
So they're
it's gonna
doing
be
it.
okay, Garrett.
A lot more money.
Garrett.
It may not work.
Oh my God.
Really?
You know what?
It's gonna work.
It's gonna work.
It's gonna work.
Okay, I
It's
like
gonna
that.
work.
Well, we might just have to live here at Terrapin Crossroads.
Yeah,
then that wouldn't be too terrible.
there's worse things that could happen
yeah,
than
don't
having to
keep it
stay
bad.
here and listen to good fucking music and have
Listen
great
to Yonder
food.
Mountain tonight.
I do know this. Tonight will probably be our best show yet because
Hell yeah.
we're all like,
Pumped.
fuck it, this is all we got. So let's just play our asses off.
Does
Yeah.
the playing get better at the end of the tour or at the beginning? For you
At the
guys?
end,
At
because
the end.
we start to gel together,
Yeah.
we're like really rehearsed, and
Getting in
the band tightens up, and you know how it is. Like the more podcasts you do, I'm sure
Yeah.
you guys start to figure
Getting
it out,
up
like
close.
Yeah.
slow and that same
I
kind
think
of
it's
thing.
a little clunky sometimes, but yeah, then we get our stride.
Yeah, like I know that like there's mornings where we'll go out to do an interview and like I'm just not feeling it. Not at all. And I don't even want to sit down and hook up the equipment. You know what I mean? And then as soon as we hit record, everything comes
Yeah,
together.
as soon as the mic's cracked,
Is it?
it's like,
And I was
Relatable
wondering.
to the first note of the show.
I was wondering that about you guys. I don't remember where we were, Apple.
we were talking about that. It's like, well, when you guys have a bad day, I mean, we're like, well, what do you do?
What do
when
you do if you're in a
sick?
bad mood?
You got a gig. You got to play, man.
And you're like,
And
you're not feeling
you're in a
magical
bad
at all.
mood,
You're
you gotta
fucking
fight
pissed
the
at him.
girl.
You know?
What does Garrett do?
How do you do it?
I feel like a lot of times when I'm exhausted or I'm pissed off, that's when I play my best, personally, because I don't give a fuck and I'm not judging myself. I don't care. And when you're in that state of not caring, you're not thinking.
Yeah.
And for me, anyways, that's my own personal
I
experience.
Well, you got emotion to pour out. That's like a
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes that end of tour, just road worn feeling where you can't even think straight, it's like the best thing because, like Garrett says, you're not judging yourself, you're not overthinking the moment. Sometimes that's what can clutter up the jam and like not let that flow happen. But if you're just tired and kind of going through the motions, sometimes that's when the real magic happens because you're just kind of letting things happen.
So, is there one of you guys that's like, the other guys have to reel him in? That's what I thought.
Jesse raised his
Jesse
hand.
raised his hand.
Yes,
So-
yes, me.
Is it an unspoken thing with you guys when you're playing that stuff like that happens, or is it like cued musically?
When you say reel it in, do you mean like in the personal life, or are you talking about on stage?
Either way, fuck
Well,
it.
on stage, no, not reeling in for me on stage. We've really figured out. We play what I consider very egoless music as a group.
Yeah.
We know our roles, and we work very hard to be unified when we're playing and create something that's just a really cohesive and a blend. And
Right.
our one of our sayings or one of our strategies is we don't want to play at the crowd. We want to play to the crowd, which is a big difference. When we're performing, and especially in jam music in this genre, when you play to the crowd, there's a great interchange of energy. And that's what really boosts the music.
That's why we're here.
yeah.
I just wonder about that because, you know, you guys just came out with that EP and there's a 54-minute jam on that, and that's a long song, man. That's an hour-long flow.
It's not even a song at that
And-
point. There's
but-
got to come up with a new term,
but for-
right? Like 54 minutes, it's not a song. What is that? The
Experience.
Yeah, that's
It's a journey.
a time
Yeah.
lapse.
Yes, a journey, totally. But I wonder, like, in that, my question is, like, in that space, you guys didn't know that was going to happen, right? You didn't sit down beforehand and go, let's do this one for 54 minutes, man.
On that
Oh,
show, we did.
We
Okay,
didn't know we were
okay,
gonna
never
make
mind.
an album out of it. I'll say that. You know,
that particular one, we kind of planned it that way, but that happens. It's happened before too, where we haven't planned it.
But there's no way you can script 54
Well, we didn't.
Oh, no,
we didn't
no.
script
It was complete
Yeah,
improv.
yeah,
Aside
okay,
from the beginning
right.
and
No,
end.
we knew we
idea
wanted to
was-
play it for an hour. We wanted to play one song for an hour. We wanted to
We
blow
didn't-
people's
yeah.
mind
We didn't know what was
with
gonna
like
happen.
Yeah.
a one-song set. We just wanted to like freak people out.
So that's what I mean. Like,
You know.
in that space, I guess you answered the question. It's egoless, and you guys are together. But in listening to other bands, I can hear sometimes, at least in my head, I think, at least one of the members is way the fuck out there, and you can hear them musically cueing him and pulling back. Like, hey, yo, over here, man. Like, what the fuck? Where you at? Doesn't happen, or?
Not really. Not that I noticed. Not when I think about our shows. I mean, we sort of all know what we got it. We're really listening to each other. And if someone sort of spaces out, or if I'm like looking down on my keyboards maybe, and I look up and I see John that has been trying to get my attention for a second, that could happen. But
Right.
But we're I don't know. It's just we're all so engaged trying to create something together.
I was gonna say we kind of play like our personalities. So it's like we're having conversations with each other, just like when we are all four together talking. And that's musically how I look at it.
When we were at Dick's and we watched you guys play in the RV lot,
Gosh, that was my favorite.
you and I, Garrett, we had a conversation that stuck with me for some reason. It's like a psychedelic imprint because I was really fucking high. And you were like, I have the best fucking seat in the house.
That's true.
And for me, like, I feel like your role in the band is so much analogous to the crowd, because we're having to feel everything that's coming at us and then give it back to you guys. And that's like your job in the band, is to feel everything that's going on and to make sure it kind of stays on track. Like,
Absolutely.
have you, like, is that what got you drumming? Is that thing?
It became that. Probably, but in the beginning, it was just fun. And
When did you start?
I was about 10 years old. My dad always wanted to be a drummer, and he never could afford drums. And
Really?
So he kind of got the bug in me, and then I went from there.
So was it like lessons and the whole thing, or was it you just got a kit and went for it?
I got a kit for Christmas from Santa.
He's right here.
And then eventually I got into I did middle school band. I took lessons. I wasn't really into the lessons. I was like breezing through books. Like my teacher was like, "This guy's going through pages a little quick for his age." And then I kind of wasn't into it. I was more into playing with my friends and riding bikes and stuff. And then I did middle school band, and then in high school is when I really, really got into it and just started practicing and taking lessons and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Playing in bands.
And I think we went over this when we talked to John, but I don't remember. How did this incarnation happen? Because I know from being a stalker of you guys that there's other people that were in the band at some point. There's like different faces. You look completely different. Like you have transformed into you look completely different than 4 months ago. You look like I saw a picture of you online the other day. It's like, who the fuck? Oh, that is him.
Yeah,
okay.
who's that?
But like, how did this happen?
This is the road, bro.
Yeah.
I have like triple bags. I was just in the bathroom looking at myself before this. I was like, oh my god, dude.
You look beautiful,
I look
man.
like I was like sodium. Sodium and cheap beer.
Wendy's gas station stops.
Yeah. One of the burrito bombs.
That's it. And a
Gas station burritos.
moan throughout the crowd. Oh.
It's an interesting story. So this band has gone through different lineups. John was the founder of the group, and he's the last, or I should say, the last remaining original member. These guys came in gradually. I was the last edition, maybe 2.5 years ago. And it's really funny. I just moved down to Huntington Beach, where I live now, from LA, and I was like, you know what? I want to find a band. I wasn't even like, it didn't even need to be the most serious band, but I wanted to start playing live. I'd been doing stuff in studio. I was really missing that in my life, and this is straight up. I just sat down on the computer. So I looked at Craigslist, and the first band on there was this band called The Higgs, that looking for a keyboardist. It was literally the first search, and I just called them up, and that was it. I was in the band. And in fact,
There was an audition first.
No. Well, I mean, there's audition, but I'm saying it was just like, here's the Higgs. God was like, here's the Higgs. Yeah. It was wild.
What did you think when you went to see them? Like,
well, I saw them on. I watched one of their videos before I called them. I was like, man, there's a lot of potential there. It was cool. They were a trio. It was really cool. And I mean, John was wearing Birkenstocks on stage. Yeah. And the way the video was, it was like right on his man foot. And I was like, we're gonna have to work on this, but
Wow.
Get some closed-toed
You're
shoes,
clown,
buddy.
man. That's fucked up.
Day one, he came into rehearsal and he's like, we got to do something about the wardrobe in this.
No shit.
Day one.
Day one. I had to lay down a few things. No big deal. It was, just some standard stuff. But
you came into that.
Look, this is how it's going to be.
Yeah,
I want to tell you how it's going to be.
There's a couple things. I mean, they auditioned me, I auditioned them. It's it's a mutual thing. It's cool. But we hit it off right away. It was like we'd already, when people are like, I've known them like in other lives, or I feel like I've known them forever. This is such a family. I've been in so many bands, and this is the most amazing experience I've ever had in my entire life.
It does.
You guys, it seems like you guys have known each other since you were kids.
That's
Yeah.
what I was going to say. Thanks for stealing my thunder.
No one ever gets really, we use the term angry, no one's ever really angry at anyone. There might be some frustration, big deal, it's nothing. We talk about everything, and we communicate very well together. So there's never like angst.
It's so much like a relationship. It's like dating. And
happy relationship. It was like happy music.
And fucking close quarters all the time, and like dealing with bullshit and driving and traffic and not sleeping and bad
That's
food
one
and
Breakdowns.
and breakdowns in the parking lot of Terrapin.
Smells.
Like
But you guys are doing all that to get here, which that overshadows any of that mind bullshit.
Absolutely.
At least in my world.
I wouldn't rather be doing anything
Right?
else.
Who cares about the car? You guys are going to perform in
you
like
know
20
what?
minutes.
You know what I
Right.
didn't do?
What?
I got all ahead of my. Hey now, No Simple Road family.
Oh yeah,
do that.
Yeah, welcome.
Wow, the Higgs are here with
You
us.
jumped the gun on the whole
I did.
thing.
I was
Okay, wait a
excited.
minute. Aaron,
I'm
this episode
sorry.
just started.
You
Yeah.
guys, Aaron's been
Take two.
nervous since like last week about this whole thing.
Okay.
He didn't announce it. He didn't even want to be on the PA. It's like a secret meeting up here. It's still great and fun, but he just got really crazy.
No, everyone's
nervous.
watching. They're like, "What's going on?"
I
up there?"
know.
Yeah,
They're like,
It's
good.
like this,
We can't
like,
hear
people
it.
are walking closer. Like they should be knowing who the hell we're talking to. 'Cause
Yeah.
these guys are rad.
I will explain
And-
why there's no PA, because the sound
you
reflects
didn't want
and
it.
we can't have it.
All
That's
right.
why.
Anyway, we've got. I'm sitting right next to John, Cutie Livero,
Hello.
and then
I'm not going to call you a cutie.
Okay, so then go ahead. We've got
I'm
Garrett,
sitting next to Garrett, and Garrett,
Cutie Garrett.
Garrett Morris, drums.
So what is it? Spanky butt? Is that what you guys
Spanky Booty. Damn, you guys do listen to this show. That's embarrassing.
David is
Yeah.
next.
Yeah, it's not a ruse. We're into it, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And we are mutual fans of each other, which is an awesome feeling because the minute I see you guys, I feel like, oh my God, where have you been? Come on, give me a
Yeah,
hug.
that's awesome.
Tell me about the kids, you know? Like, it really feels like that. And Jessie, we got you over there, Mr. Crazy Cutie.
Yeah, how you doing? Having fun over here. It's down a messy side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Messy
it
side,
is
Jessie
messy
side.
over there.
That's the- Yeah, it's very messy.
Yeah.
It's page side, bridge side.
Yeah, messy
It's
side,
Messy
Jessie
side,
really
Jessie
great
side. Got it.
doing this with you guys. It really is.
Yeah, to
It's-
be here to watch you guys take this stage tonight is
Yeah.
amazing.
Hey, thanks for inviting us
Congratulations,
to do this
fellas.
with you guys.
And it's a first for a lot of us. First to be here, first to do our live podcast, first that we're all together to do this. So right on.
Yeah, Apple and I mean,
First of the
I
year.
said this outside, but like,
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Do it.
2019 coming in strong.
yeah,
Yes,
for sure.
that's what's up.
If we had been coming here to interview anybody else, I would have been
You would have loved it.
even
But
more.
it's
I would have been
special because
even
you guys-
more out of my mind
As soon as
before.
we-
But
as soon
knowing
as
that
we
we were
got
going
out
to
of
be
the
up here
car.
with you guys, I was like, oh, it's just hanging out with our friends.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to
As I
get
say-
to some meat. Jesse, you said that 2019's been good to you, like you getting some steam. What's going on?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been
Talk
building
about that.
through, of course, 2018. But what's really neat about this group? Once again, I said I've been in different bands, but there is a term I use, which is invisible doors. They know it. I say it a lot. But I've been in other bands that have talent. You're working very hard. The music's really cool, you know. But you're noticing that other bands, maybe in your area, are progressing farther, getting a bigger fan base, making more money, whatever, playing better venues. And you're thinking, what are we not doing? What? And I think that there's like these there's some kind of dimensional invisible force that will hold you back to get you to actually the right experience that you're wanting. You know, you think I want this right now, but really, the universe or God is like, no, what you really want is this, and it's just not going to happen for you. We're going to get you there, and this band is that for me. This band has what I'll call so much luck, or the invisible doors surrounding it. Constantly, people are coming into our lives that are very savvy and intelligent, creative artists, and they're just like, here's this amazing art, we want to just give it to you. People offering us better and bigger gigs with, we just got through the gig with O'Teal and Melvin Seals and John Cade. That just got handed to us by our friend. He's like, hey, I believe in your band. You guys should be opening at Fox. And that was like one of the coolest gigs ever, wasn't
That's
it?
how we felt about you guys too.
Yeah.
Like when the minute we heard you, I believe in these guys. They rock, and we hadn't even seen you yet. Like we just saw you a few months ago for the first time. When was it? Was it in Colorado? Or?
we saw them
Salem.
in Salem.
Yeah.
Well, you guys just happen to be one of those invisible doors. That's just how it is.
Yeah. It feels
Dude,
very
it's-
much
and
like
it-
that.
Yeah. You guys are an invisible door. This is exactly what I'm talking about. To us, it's like the things that happen to bands that make the band happen. Like,
And it's reciprocal, 100%, because I feel like that with you guys. Like, since we all hooked up, all this crazy shit starts
Yeah, we kind of have
happening.
gone on a roller coaster ride together. It seems like it really does.
Yeah.
And I know exactly what you mean, talking about like other bands in your area getting more traction, and you see them getting better gigs. And I feel like that podcasting, like podcasts on our network doing stuff, and and it's hard not to compare and feel like, well, fuck, I should be, you know. And then I was just telling these guys this today, like when it all starts to click and the train really starts taking off, I'm like, I don't know how to feel right now.
Do you guys get nervous of like success, pending success?
Not nervous.
That, like, in your
I'm excited.
I think we're just going with the flow at this point. Yeah. We're just kind of open to what the universe is handing us. And
Okay, that's what I was saying. Yeah,
That's a
it's
really
organic.
awesome
You have to let it
yes.
go. You're not in charge anymore.
Yeah.
You're kind of
But
going
I
where it
understand.
takes you.
I understand what you're saying. How you can kind of like fear the potential of things happening and things starting to get real.
That's what keeps it just out of reach. Is that fear? You have to embrace
Maybe
it.
fear.
You have
Maybe
to run
fear is a
into that
bad
shit.
word to use for that, though.
Yeah,
Because
nerves maybe.
yeah, nerves and
You
like
have to get to the root of it. That's why I say fear. 'cause
Yeah.
it's the base of it. It's the base of the soup.
I feel like
Otherwise, just do it.
yeah. I guess maybe you're right. It's a thing where like you understand manifestation and how it works and all that, and you know that you can do it, and then when you actually see it start happening and it really starts happening, for me at least, it's a second guess. It's like,
It's a
wait a
mental
minute, was
pullback.
that fucking, I did that? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Like,
Yeah.
I'm on stage at Terrapin Crossroads and, holy shit.
Yeah.
I was gonna say my belief is
Yeah.
the opposite of love is fear. So like, if you love something and you do it out of love, there is no fear can't exist.
That's exactly
So,
how I feel.
wow.
That's why I stay calm. Like I'm like, we don't have bad intentions. We're not.
No.
We don't put out corny shit.
No.
And we really love these guys. So what is there gonna happen?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like fake. Like we have to like, oh, we don't know their music and we've never heard. Like it's like legit. We love you guys. We're excited for you guys. We can't wait to dance and like celebrate together. That's how I feel.
And
you
real
know?
thing.
Yeah.
That's where like that's love.
And-
That's the love part.
And I think a huge part of what I'm talking about too, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, is like the thing starts to become so big that everything else starts to take a back seat to that thing. So is this is it for you guys? Like, John, I know you give guitar lessons, right?
Yeah, I teach back at home.
Yeah. Are you guys working other stuff, or is this it?
I hawk stuff on eBay. I teach a couple lessons, but this is all we want to do, and we spend so much time on perfecting our craft and individually and together, that sure we got bills and stuff to take care of,
Right.
and we have to do what we got to do.
But you're not punching a clock or going to some office and sitting in a cubicle or.
I make my own hours.
No.
How dare you? No.
You know, really, like one of the hardest things about having the band, I think, is just finding, 4 people you think that can really put like the same thing as like their number one priority.
Oh, we're dealing with that. We deal with that.
And when you really have that many,
just got real.
when you have
Oh
a group
my
of people that
gosh.
are really on the same page like that much and ready to commit to something like on that level, I mean,
Look, if
you know,
we're
that's
being
what it's all
honest,
about. It helps a lot.
If we're being honest, Aaron's afraid of success.
What?
If we're being honest, because that struck a chord with him. I felt it in his nerve center. I felt it.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Ed.
It's all good.
It's like
Hush, interview's over.
Yeah, I gotta go.
You
Yeah.
hit on something big, David, and that's like all the people putting the same amount of energy.
Well, shit, if we're gonna get real, I'll get real with you.
Yeah,
So,
Uh-oh.
get it, babe.
fuck it.
Hold on, I need a drink.
Yeah. I'm gonna need a drink when I'm done saying this.
Dude, I just heard the Rocky bell.
Hey,
Coming from where I came from, I was sleeping under a stairwell in Las Vegas on a piece of cardboard shooting dope.
you were also in hotel rooms
Wait a minute.
in Malibu.
Wait a minute.
Like
That
all
was
of it.
long before that. And
privileged life.
yeah, before all that. And I fucking blew
And
it.
after.
And
Still.
coming from that, there's that dark passenger that rides along, and I know we all have it. I know we all
We
have it.
He
sacrifice
doesn't
it
take
tonight.
compliments.
And he
well.
yes, he
Dark
doesn't
Passenger
take compliments.
well.
He doesn't think he can do it. He doesn't.
Oh, yeah, I know
But-
exactly.
But having people around you that believe in you, that's the thing and I've been saying this a lot, it's like the community of it, and even down to the brotherhood that you guys share. When that dark passenger starts to speak up, you've got 3 other dudes here to go, tell him to shut the fuck up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
That's exactly
and
right.
look at all this shit we've done together, man. Come on, give me a fucking break.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Absolutely. That happened last night. I got done with the second set and I was like, I went to Jessie, I'm like, I don't know, man. I felt a little weird about that. That wasn't that great. And he's like, no, dude, that was amazing. You killed it. And I was like, oh, really?
John,
We killed it.
I was like, dude, I was like, no, dude, you slayed it last night. He was playing some stuff that, this happens with all the guys. John right now especially is having like what I'm calling a really prolific period. Not only with his songwriting, he's writing some really cool songs right now, but his playing every night, it's like I'm watching him advance. He's the youngest guy in the band, but he also plays the leadership role, being in a way like the lead singer. He sings most of the songs, and then of course the lead guitar player. So it's cool to, it's just amazing to watch. I've been watching him progress. I mean, my God, if you heard him, and he was jamming 2.5 years ago when I met him, but it's such an honor to play with him. So last night when he came up and said that, he like melted my face off last night. And I was just like, no way, dude.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Well, I have such a strong foundation behind me. These guys are just so tight that when I want to do like my melodic thing over the top of it, it's getting easier and easier for me to come up with ideas and have things flow. Absolutely. Yeah, just let it fly.
When you're playing like that, the only thing that I can equate it to is drawing. Sometimes when I'm drawing, I forget I'm drawing. And then I'll look at it when I'm done, I'm like, oh shit, I did that? Is it like that when you're playing like or meditation too? Same thing, like meditating and then you go, I'm doing it, and then you're not doing it anymore. Like,
I know what you're talking about.
Is playing like that?
Yeah, sometimes we'll throw on, or like we'll be listening back to the podcast or the live cast from the night before, and someone will be like, "Oh, who's that?" And we'll be like, "Oh, it's us." That's us. Yeah.
Whoa.
It's like when you're in the moment, you're so in the moment. You're not. Sometimes you don't know if it's good or bad. It's hard to judge what just happened until you like really hear it back.
So is that something that you guys do a lot? Is sit down and listen to shows that you've played and critique them for yourselves?
Almost all the shows.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
Like
that's
to
intense.
critique or just to hear it, or like what's like
Always
all of it, all of it.
critiquing ourselves.
Just to sit back and listen and see the things that are working and see the things that aren't working, discuss it, say, hey, this is really awesome, let's emphasize on this, or hey, this isn't really working too well, let's cut back on this a little bit.
Yeah.
So you guys are really working the relationship
So
aspect.
it's a
of
craft
the band.
too.
Absolutely.
The dynamics.
Yes.
The dynamics are important.
That's why there's magic, you guys, for real. It's just
That's
like,
why you guys seem like you've known each other your whole lives. You seem
yeah,
like
because there's a lot of discussion going on, and then the discussion also with your instruments. So there's verbal stuff going on, and you're writing lyrics about what's happening in life, and then you guys are playing.
So
it
it's
together.
self-perpetuating.
It's constantly being.
It's feeding
constantly
itself.
being open.
Right.
Absolutely.
And it's exponential too. As you, okay, when you're starting out in this, you're, and I was just talking about this yesterday. When you're starting out in this, you're pushing all the time. We need to get in that venue. We need to. We don't need to take guarantees anymore. We need to do ticket sales. And that's a scary thing. Not taking the guarantee and charging $5. And are people going to come and pay $5 because they're used to coming for free? And you're pushing through, and just please let us open up on a Tuesday at this venue, like some off night. And what happens is after you do that for a period of years, and this is happening to us now as this line goes into our third year. Venues are now reaching out to us, and it's this whole thing that's spun around. The Mint in LA reached out to us to headline. 2 years ago, we would have begged them to open on a weekday night and been like, and it was a victory. Oh my God, we're playing the Mint. We're opening up at the Mint on a Wednesday, and it was like, and so it's really neat to see that energy. It does this reverse thing. I don't know how to explain it.
Guys, how does the reverse feel?
Yeah.
It feels
Really
amazing.
good.
Fuck yeah, it does.
Because we're literally earning it.
I called her crying the other day, like, this shit's happening.
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
Thank
I hope
you.
you know that. You guys know that. You guys seem comfortable with the success that you're getting, and in a non-braggadocio kind of way, just like it's good, like a good heart feeling.
Well, that's
humbling.
that's
It's
the
humbling.
whole
Yeah.
of course thing too, though, and it's something that I'm trying to drill into my hard ass head is like when you manifest something, not being like, oh, ooh, but being like, of course that happened. I made that happen, so it happened. That's what you know. You put peanut butter and jelly on a sandwich. That's a peanut butter and fucking jelly sandwich. Not being like, oh my god, I made a fucking sandwich.
I gotta say, and it all comes. You guys have obviously done it. Like tonight, seeing you when we saw you in Salem, it all comes hard work. It comes from hard work.
Yeah.
Sure.
What you put into it is what comes back. Watching you, you're in the van that barely made it here. You're loading your own gear in and out and everything.
For sure.
With bands helping you out here and there and stuff. It's
Yep.
just awesome, and that's what I mean. You got to work hard for something to make it pay off.
Absolutely.
It's extremely hard work. It is. And a lot of people don't realize. They just see the stage glory and us smiling and going, yeah.
That's when
And then they go home and it's like 2 in the morning and we're loading out over ice and then driving and
the performance is
Somebody's farting.
Yeah,
You're like, come on, man.
We just met this awesome guy, Mike. He just hit us up on the internet, and he's like, "Hey, I want to come out to some of your shows." And he came along on the run with us to do merch, and he's been so helpful. It's been so great. Last night it was night 2. He comes up to me after the show, and he goes, "Dude, this is a grind, isn't it?" I'm like, "Yes, absolutely. Yeah, this is the real deal.
Day
man.
2.
This is what it takes."
We flew down here today and we're all exhausted. Fuck, man.
Mike blew our minds when me and Aaron we went to look at your merch and grab a couple of things, and he's all, yeah, I never knew who the Higgs were until I listened to your guys' podcast. And we're like, what? We're like,
Turns out he's
no
my
way,
neighbor.
we thought you knew.
Ten-
And he's
like
your
15
neighbor?
minutes
He's your
from me.
neighbor?
Well, he's like
Oh, like
15
right
minutes from
by
me.
When
you.
he said that,
It's
I
just
was
a trip
stoked.
how the interconnections
Dude.
of these, it's just awesome, man, how this is all going.
And the performance is that's when we really get to have fun. I mean, it's all fun, but that's like 10% of like, say, 100% of the work.
Yeah.
It's the performance. There's so much behind the scenes that no one gets to see.
That's that glue that holds it together. You guys working together to do everything
So
to make this happen.
you're so quiet,
Yeah.
David. How did you get started playing?
Me? Well, I started playing when I was really young, like 6 or 7 or so. I remember just kind of like hitting the piano and being like, man, what is this? What's it do? And then, I started going to church, and in my church, the Salvation Army back in Northeast Philadelphia, they used to teach brass band, like trumpet and baritone horn and all that. And I started learning like horns like that. And I got into that, and then for a couple years, I kind of got into like playing baseball and other stuff, and, like, comic books. And then when I was 12, I started playing. I went back to the church, and I started playing trombone, I think, first. And then when I started playing that, I was like, oh man, music is like it. Music's it for me. And I stopped like caring about anything else, like comic books and baseball. And I would like play trombone for like 8 hours a day.
What?
Really?
What kind of music?
Like classical, like church music, like hymns and stuff.
Really? Holy shit!
Yeah. And then my mom got me an electric guitar, and then I like didn't touch the trombone again for another like 8 years. I was like, just practicing the guitar all day, every day, like 8-9 hours a day.
Was it a dream? Like even then, to
I just knew just making music is all I really want to do. It was like the only drive I had was like that's all I want to do. Like,
Have you guys ever thought of throwing a little horn into the Higgs?
Not yet. We joke about it. It's one of these days we might do something like that. I might bust out the old trombone.
There you go.
Not quite the. I got to work on it still a little bit. Bring my embouchure back. That's your.
Yeah, no, don't break that one out. Those are terrible. So what's we're talking about all this like
What's 2019
no, with all this momentum and all that stuff, like what's the key to it? Like if somebody out there is listening and they're like, man, my life is harsh and I'm having a hard time, like what's the key to like really making shit happen for yourself besides hard work?
Yeah. Do you mean like in a band professionally, or do you just mean
or life?
Just maintaining a positive outlook. This is my own personal thing, but I've always been a fairly happy person. When I wake up in the day, I'm pretty happy. I mean, I have my stresses that might, it's like everyone, that might bring me down a little bit, but in general, I just have like what I call the happy chemicals. My body, fortunately, I got blessed with that. So just staying positive and knowing that, don't let the negative thoughts creep in. What you're talking about, the dark passenger.
Yeah.
Just know that it's a bunch of BS. You can do whatever you want to do. Just do it and get over it. Like, come on, achieve.
Where were you
That's what you want. Melanie said this to me earlier today. So
That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Your mind will trick you, and it wants to. It's mostly full of negative stuff, and you don't have to believe it. It's like a movie picture going by.
It grows
Something.
with the more attention you give it.
Exactly.
That was awesome. That was like 2 years of therapy that rolled up into one sentence.
Yeah.
And I'll say something else. I just spaced out. I lost it.
Don't quit, too. You said that yesterday
Yeah.
when we did an interview. I think that's really important. Is if you really believe in yourself and you believe in what you're doing, don't quit, because it could take longer than you want it to sometimes, that you can imagine it happening in. So just stick to it, keep grinding it out, keep bumping your shoulders against the right people, and find the right musicians to play with. And like David was saying earlier, it is tough to find a group of guys that are willing to just put everything into something like this. So you got to find the right unit. But then once you find that, just keep going. Just keep doing it.
That's
Look
advice from the youngest cutie over here.
Yeah.
Never stop.
That's beautiful. That says never stop creating.
there's
on
a
the back of his
just
phone.
2 days ago I got a
From
sticker.
Headliner.
Yeah.
Let's shout them out.
I got a sticker in the mail that
Headliner.
says "Never Stop Creating." As John's talking, I pulled it out of my pocket and stuck it on my phone.
I like it.
It's awesome.
It's a reminder, and you know what? It's like, for me, we're all creating a reality for ourselves all the time. And so that doesn't just mean like never stop creating art or never stop creating music. It means never stop creating your life. And it's a reminder for me that I'm the one that's in charge, not that dickhead that sits in the back seat and
Right.
turn left. You're supposed to turn here. So you're driving too slow. You can't do that. Shut up, dude.
If you believe everything,
Shut up.
if you believe everything has a purpose and everything's already laid out, then there's nothing to worry about.
Wow.
Worry's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're just perceiving the future, the past.
Used for something else.
Garrett's like just sitting next to him, like the calmest. It's so drummers are such a weirdest people. Sitting next to him, he's got the calmest, coolest energy, and he just drops these pearls of wisdom, and then you watch him play, and he's like,
and you don't listen to me.
Yeah. No,
"Did
you
I
know-
not listen to you today?"
You want to hear something? Dude, so one that we were doing this gig, and John is in. John, I'm going to tell the story, okay?
Wait, what story? Hold on, you might have to edit this out.
Because it's like the pearl of wisdom thing. John's in there smoking a bowl, and he's in his truck, and we all like walked over to talk about the set list, and it's like so smoky in there. He's just like in there with it. I mean, serious eyes are like squinting, and he's just smoking. And the funny thing is we're all outside of his truck trying to talk to him, and he only has his window cracked down this far. It's like, dude, roll your window down, bro. Too cool for school. No, and he literally so he literally takes this huge hit, like he has these monster lungs and like blows it out. And it goes everywhere, and then he goes, "We must trust the groove." It was like the funniest thing, and
That's their motto now.
and that's one of the mottos. Trust the
You
groove.
need to have that
Trust
on the
groove.
back of one of your shirts.
I couldn't believe it. It was he was like the caterpillar out of Alice in Wonderland with the hookah. Trust the groove.
I believe I heard that from the drummer of the New Master Sounds. I can't remember his name right now, but he's a fantastic drummer, and I think he mentioned something along those lines about trusting the groove. So I can't take full credit for that Caterpillar quote that I had.
Yeah, but it
was
sure
great
did look
timing,
cool.
though. I was gonna say that sounds.
Oh, it was.
Set it
If
up
you
real
saw
well.
him, because of his, he looked John with his hair and everything, and he doesn't even have his window down. I was like, dude, come on, man. Yeah.
So there's something I've always wondered.
That's right. That was the other thing. I was like, every there's like a lackey, some guy like a pep man that's always, like backing up what the guy says because the guy's cool and you want to be part of it.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah. I was like, he's like, yeah, trust the groove. I was like, yeah, trust the groove. We gotta trust the groove.
Yeah, Spike.
Yeah.
As you're jumping over his back.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, trust the group.
So,
Trust the group tonight. I'm
hell yeah.
trust the group tonight.
Yeah, you're gonna hear a lot of groove tonight. We got some serious funky stuff.
This
coming
might be a stupid, silly question, but I have always wondered this about every band I ever listened to. That's on my mind. And since we're friends, I'm going to ask you the stupid, silly question. Have you ever tripped and listened to your own music?
Like how long? Last night.
I'm not talking about playing.
No, yeah, like after the show.
Yeah.
On the live feed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Last
fucking
night,
cool.
Maybe.
So what's... Yeah, allegedly. Of course.
Yeah, allegedly.
Everything is off the record.
Yeah, hypothetically.
Yeah. I can't imagine sitting down tripping and listening to No Simple Road.
Did you guys get into your groove?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I guess that's how some people experience it at our shows, so it's nice to be able to experience it that way too.
Yeah.
Realize what
I've
people-
always fucking wondered that.
When you're on stage doing this, we're using these monitors. A lot of people don't know this. A person that watches music, there's the mains that they hear, and then we have these monitors on stage, and each of us have our own monitor mix, meaning like in mine, I use John's lead guitar, I have the vocals, and a little bit of my keyboards. Normally I can hear the drums fine. So what I'm playing, I hear myself the most, so you really, when you're intertwined in the music, you're hopefully doing something cool, but when you listen back to it, you get that real mix. None of us have the real mix.
Even with
we have no clue what it really sounds like.
It's never really a true representation of what the room is sounding like what the fans are experiencing. With the in-ears, it's actually really sterile. It's almost like listening to a CD or something.
Oh, wow.
And
clear and not clean.
And so it's not the front of house mix, what everyone's really hearing. And so until you listen back, we'll have moments where we will be like, well, we could have done that better. It was fine. But we listen back and we're like, dude, that's wrong. That sounds pretty good. That's way better than I thought it was. Stuff like that.
Trippy, cool craft you guys have. What a fucking fun job. I say it all the time. Musicians have the best job.
We have a pretty cool gig.
We have a pretty fucking cool gig.
Yeah, you guys are loving it.
similar.
You guys are doing so great, by the way.
Thanks.
It's incredible to watch the rise of No Simple Road.
It's
fun
a
to
trip.
have
It is fun. And that's another thing. Like I texted John the other day. I was like, methinks our fates are entwined. Like all this shit's happening to all of us at the same time, and it really does seem almost put together by a hand outside of any of us. Like,
correct.
Me and John met, and then all this crazy shit started happening, and now.
Yeah, when we saw you guys in Salem, Ryder's not here to represent the story, but we were outside. It was such a cute little venue, and we were outside, and we were like, I can't believe this is, we were geeking out on you guys, right? Me and Ryder on our own, away from everybody. And I was like, yeah, the only thing better is if they did this freaking version of No Simple Road, and they just kept doing it. And then
that happened
2 seconds later. It was like I said it
manifested
and
it.
go.
Yeah. We walk in, boom.
And then Ryder was like, Mel, did you see it? And so we're eye to eye, oh my God. And then so we just ended up dancing back into the freaking grooving back in, and that's what it feels like with us right now. That's what it feels like when I listen to you guys.
Yeah.
Because it's something in real time is happening. In real fucking time. And thanks for that. Thanks for being part of that.
So cool.
At least on our side, my side.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's killer.
Love you guys.
So
Love it. Love you.
We've talked about this privately. I guess we have talked about it on the show, but we got to do a No Simple Higgs tour.
No Simple Higgs. We want to do it.
It's got to happen this year.
Oh, this year for sure.
Yeah.
We're doing it. It is
Yeah, we
happening.
are. This is
On the
our time.
timeline, it's already done.
So
It's already happened.
I saw the other day that you guys are going to be playing Skull and Roses.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to be there.
Just so happens
Yeah.
we're podcasting from Skull and Roses.
That is sick.
So
Great.
So we're definitely going to party down.
it is the year of No Simple Higgs.
Yes. That's so good.
We need to get at least one run of shirts with our logos on them together.
Oh, that would be. I would love that.
Yeah.
Astronaut
Split it and
Yeah.
Oh my God, on a road?
Yeah. On a road. Yeah.
I'll draw something. Yeah.
That's cool.
I wanted to ask that. Where'd the spaceman come from?
Yeah.
It's that space guy.
He's in a song called Space Traveler. And
Okay.
it's kind of a theme.
It's a lyric kind of refers to a
the
lyric.
graphic, or
Yeah. There's this song.
Not one of us in the band, but
You have a guy.
We have
You've got a guy.
Yeah. We'll throw it out. Brian Bojo. Brian Bojo from North Carolina.
He's worked with a lot of really good bands in the jam band scene, and he's done some really cool artwork for us. And hey, shout out to Brian Bojo.
Yeah, Brian.
Right on,
Yeah.
Brian.
Brian.
Great job, Brian.
Right.
So,
I want to hear these
I
guys.
do too. So
Yeah,
let's
since
wrap
you
it
guys
up.
have to play
We have to
gig
play a
tonight,
gig.
so-
Shake it
We're
up.
gonna run late. So thanks, guys.
Oh, thanks a lot. This has been a blast. Here we are, Terrapin.
A lot of fun.
So much
Oh yeah,
more.
there
This
you
is
guys.
so
We're
much
gonna document an entire leg of a tour with you guys. So.
I love it.
That's
Yeah,
the
this
coolest
is
thing.
This is just the beginning. This is a recurring
Yeah.
thing that's going to happen.
You
again
capture
and
all the
again.
sights and the smells. We'll have to figure out how to get the smells.
Yeah.
And I want to
Yeah.
trip and listen to your music
Yeah.
with you.
Dude, we'll do it together.
There we
Hey,
go.
hey, you know what?
Yeah,
No,
take
no,
that.
you know what we
That's
need to do? We need to trip and do one of these interviews.
Oh, that's what. See, that's the second time.
It's the
Boom.
real hang.
That's
Yeah,
happening.
John?
The real hang.
That's
John,
happening.
No, I'll tell you later.
Oh shit. Okay.
It's on though. It's on, bro.
So I don't know what else to say. We're gonna go watch the Higgs play,
Yeah.
and you guys are gonna hear it, and we love you, and we'll see you soon.
Love you too. Thank you so much.
All right,
Love
guys.
you. Kush Supply Co.
Stay tuned. Right.
Like twist and turn, the mission turn, and it's a journey. Wish the word is many problems, but it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hell of me has been the earth. And alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? Still, no simple road. 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 My windshield is shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Osiris.